On the XAUUSD, we had some sell positions during the course of yesterday's trading session. As you can see here, at the beginning of the week, we saw how price was initially trapped within the channel. It was a $10 channel between the $2,006 level and the 1,996 area. Though we had a breakout of the structure during the early hours of yesterday, and I laid emphasis on this, that this might likely turn out to be a bullish signal, but we'll still need some confirmations to happen to join that trend continuation to the upside. And I told us all that we want to see buy pressure resume around this area on our lower time frame to give us that leverage. And I also made mention that considering the sell pressure we noticed around the $2,015 mark area, especially after such a long impulsive leg to the downside here, we might be seeing this as a sign that sellers are gradually gaining momentum in this market. And to further buttress this expectation here, we scaled down to a much more lower time frame, that is the 15 minutes time frame yesterday, where we identified a simple setup to be able to take advantage of that bearish move if it will be happening. So this was what we saw here on the 15 minutes time frame. So let us look at this together. So here we are during the live session yesterday. So we were around the structure during the live session yesterday, where we were seeing some buy pressure resume around that area. So I told us all yesterday that with the breakdown of this trend line here and the sell pressure continuing to the downside, we might likely be seeing a bearish move to the downside. And what we said here is that we are going to be looking forward to the breakdown of the $2,007 mark to confirm this bearish move to the downside, and that was exactly what happened. So with our sell stop order below the structure, we had a sell stop order here and we had a buy stop order above the 2015. So we said a breakout of 2015 will welcome a buy position, and the breakdown of the $2007 mark will welcome selling opportunities in this market. So with the sell stop order below the structure, we had our first sell position for the week, and in fact price action moved about 260 pips in our favor before this bullish momentum began. I hope you are able to scoop in some profits around that area, and the further breakdown of the $2,000 mark welcome more sell position, and the breakdown of the 1,996 also welcome additional sell position. So you must have made at least a minimum of 400 pips on the XAUUSD yesterday. Now, with the situation we have right now, and considering the continued buy pressure we have been noticing here since the later part of the New York session yesterday, we want to be taking a fresh new look at the current market structure. And the first thing I was able to spot here is to consider the bullish momentum we have been noticing here since the New York session yesterday. And in order to acknowledge that bullish momentum, what I did here was to connect the series of higher lows to give us this beautiful trend line, which I will be calling a temporary one in the meantime. And the reason why I will be calling it a temporary one is simply because of this impulsive move that brought price into this level. So it could turn out that the bullish momentum we're noticing so far could be a retracement of that impulse leg that brought price to the 1,982 level, to inside the second wave of that bearish momentum. So our center of focus is going to be between the $2,001 level and the $2,007 area as we head into the New York session today. Now, how do we intend to take advantage of any potential trading opportunity during the New York session today? Now, look at the structure closely here, and remember that we had that very important key structure at the $2,000 mark, which we said we are going to be using as our guide for trading activity this week. That is the $2,000 mark level here, a powerful psychological level considering the round figure of that price. And as you can see, that line also shares a beautiful confluence with that bullish trend line. So let's talk about the expectation of sellers in this market. And the reason why I'm talking about the expectation of sellers, first of all, is the fact that since the beginning of this week, it has been bearish in this market. As you can see, price actions started at the 2015, dropped, moved about 300 pips into the 1982, which is more or less at this point an impulsive move to the downside, and this could be a retracement to incite another wave of bullish or bearish momentum. So we want to consider the expectations of the sellers at this point. So right now, since we have a trend line here, we shall be using this trend line as our yardstick for trading activity today. So what this simply means is that if price action remains above that trend line, we look out for more buying opportunity in this market. But if price action breaks the trend line, then we'll have no choice than to get ready to sell the XAUUSD. And to sell the XAUUSD, I already have a structure here at the $2001 mark, after considering how price action out that level has been a major determinant of price action since the early hours of today. Look at what happened here. In fact, if we go to as far back as the first couple of hours in the New York session yesterday, we saw how that level was a strong selling niche. That's the $2001 mark. We saw here during the early hours of today how that level also was a strong selling niche here. Look at what happened here. Again, we saw selling niche, we saw the breakout of structure, we saw price action come back into this level, we also saw some selling niche before this breakout happened. So at this point in time, we have been witnessing a multiple rejection of that $2005 mark, as price is yet to find a new high. Breaking out of the previous structure is still not yet happening at this point. And looking at this candle here, we're beginning to see some selling pressure resume again. So for me, this might turn out to be the peak price could ever get to today. And if the selling pressure here continues, then a breakdown of the $2001 mark should be welcoming a sell position in this market. And if you look closely into the structure, a breakdown of the $2001 level will also have broken down that bullish trend line here to signal that the trend line may no longer have that capacity to continue to hold that bullish momentum. And if that is the case, continued selling pressure below the structure between the 2001 and the $2000 mark will be giving us more confirmations to join or add more position to our sell position on the XAUUSD. Now, a further breakdown of the 1196 will be welcoming more selling opportunities in this market. So I hope that we'll be on standby so that we can catch this move. For me personally, it's looking more bearish in this market. Let's look out for how we can take advantage of this move by getting ready to join a decline at the breakdown retest of that 2001 and $2000 level. Now, in as much as we're looking out for selling opportunities here as well, I always try to make things as open as possible, as we need to be as fluid as the market is so that we can catch that move when it happens. So we are also going to take into consideration the potentials of the buyers too in this market. And if we are considering the potentials of the buyers in this market, one thing I want to be seeing here, for me to buy the XAUUSD, is to see price action breakout of that $2008 mark. This level has been a strong selling niche in the past, though we had a breakout at the beginning of the week where buyers couldn't maintain that momentum to continue to the upside here, as you can see what happened here. So if we have a breakout of the structure happen today, then definitely this trend line here will continue to be our guide to rather bullish momentum all the way to the upside. So a breakout of the $2007 level, have your buy stop above that structure, and then we want to be riding the move all the way to the upside. Then a further breakout of the 2015 will welcome more opportunities in this market. So that is how we are going to be trading the XAUUSD today. And as you can see here, we have structures between the 2007, the 2011 and the bullish trend line here, which is serving as our yardstick for trading activity for this week. So let's be on standby to catch any of these opportunities as price action is being monitored. So that is that on the XAUUSD. I hope I made myself clear. If you have any questions, let me know right in the comment section.